Well, first of all, men are the protectors of the community and they're the protectors of the family. And together working with mothers and our wives, God in His infinite wisdom gave us mothers and fathers. And our mothers have been holding it down for a long time. But the reality is that to have a real stable, healthy family, our young people need strong mothers and strong fathers. And what's been absent for far too long are those strong, responsible fathers. Fathers really, I think, offer another level of tender loving care that all of our young people need. But in many ways for me, my dad was the disciplinarian in the family, and you need that as well. My dad was the one that told the great stories that really gave a lot of context for my life. And our young people need that, Dads, responsible dads, loving dads, dads who are there, dads who give a sense of protection. See, I think that's also one of the most important things. Young people feel protected when dad is around. They may feel more nurtured by mom, but they feel protected by dad. And that is extremely important in the development of a child, to first and foremost know that you are protected. Because if you feel like you're in danger, that impacts how you move, that impacts how you think. And when you've got a strong, responsible dad around and he makes you feel secure and protected, it allows you to then grow very naturally in that course of life to become a young person that you really should be, and it helps you to ultimately be able to manifest your destiny. But in the absence of that, you have to make the definition of manhood yourself. Without a responsible dad around to really show you the way, it's very often it results in dysfunction. And the men who are able to make it to the finish line without it always have that hole in their lives that they talk about, no matter how old or how successful they become. I think the biggest attribute that a man can have or otherwise demonstrate to show himself responsible is time, giving real time, being there. Has very little to do with money or resources, although those things help. But the most important thing is love. It's love, and that love is demonstrated through the kind of time that you give, the advice that you give, the level of discipline, loving discipline that you give to make sure that your child stays on the right track. Those things are necessary to be the person who's there to give the advice. When you're reaching that crossroads in your life and you need direction, dads to give dad perspective, male perspective to sons and daughters. When you've got daughters and they're ultimately going to have to deal with these guys out here, just teaching them to understand how to do that. What are you looking for? I've taught my daughter for so many years just how special she is, and never to forget how special she is. And don't settle for somebody, but to make sure that you find the kind of guy that's going to work with you, that's going to enhance who you are, because you're a queen and you're special. And that means so much for young ladies to hear that from their dads. And for young men, the same thing, that you're special. You don't just run around here with any old body, but that, that you really are, you're special. And then everything that you do has to be representative of your mom and your dad and your family and your legacy. The choices that you make, are these the things that would make us proud of you? They have to hear that. So it's really, in many ways, Ken, it's a lot of the little things. The best years I've ever spent, the best times I've ever spent with my kids are just wrapped up under some covers, watching old black and white movies and having some popcorn and juice. And those are the kinds of memories I think that I've given my kids that have given them a sense of security and love and warmth that allows them to be strong and to go out and take on the world. I think the most responsible thing I've ever done, period, was never leaving my family. My wife and I have 4 children, and including 3 sons. There were many times where, because of just the natural tension between my wife and I, when I could easily have left, when other brothers did leave. I'm not taking this nonsense anymore. I don't have to do it. And it was nothing blatant. I mean, it was just normal stuff of being in a relationship, arguing about all kinds of stuff. Where so many who I knew who were around me took the easy road and they left. And I never left. And in many ways, I never left because my father never left. And my father was always like that guiding light for me. And yeah, I heard him and my mom argue over the years about money and financial woes and all kind of stuff. But my dad never left. And because he never left, I never felt that I had license to leave. You know, I had a roadmap. And part of that roadmap was you're in it through thick and thin. And you're not in it just for the good time. But when it gets tough and when it gets a little rough, you don't leave. You make adjustments. You do what you have to do. You enhance the communication. But you don't leave. And I think that's probably the most responsible thing I've ever done in my life, is to make sure that I was always there. I could always be counted on to be there.